Alrighty, looks like we are good to go here. We'll give a second here for any viewers to start popping in here. Once the notification gets pushed out there. If you are watching the stream after it's been fully uploaded, really appreciate it, and hopefully you guys do enjoy what we're up to today. Going to be working on some of these different vehicles here. So mainly going to be working on some Forestry stuff. So we're going to see how it's going. And hello everyone that's popping in here and saying hello. Good to see you all. Hello to Persona, Dodge Ram, Alpha Unit, the Pop Tart. How you doing, man? It's been a while. Fritz, Orion, how you guys all doing? Welcome to stream. Today we're just going to be going ahead and doing some forestry equipment. So we're not going to be doing anything too crazy, but I've been really in this kick recently where basically we're just going to be going ahead and, building some equipment for forestry type industry. So I've been really in the kind of construction phase. So I've been building a lot of crazy construction vehicles and stuff. How you doing, Rodriguez, man? Hope you're doing good. Hope DM's still treating you well. The rare live stream. Yeah, it's been about 2 years since we've live streamed, so been kind of crazy, dude. Just decide, you know what? Hey, you know what? Maybe give it a shot. So we'll see how it goes. Captain Jack, really appreciate it, man, and Orion, definitely enjoying the change of pace so far. Really, it's been nice, kind of relaxing, a little bit more stress off me, and just kind of been enjoying doing my thing. But if you guys haven't already, some of these construction vehicles were covered in the recent video I did for the next Model World release. So I went ahead and have been working on some more stuff. We got this cool Cat 6060, so really cool bucket excavator, and also this little bulldozer here. Which are really sick, and then I also went ahead and built this new log forwarder for forestry. So got some cool stuff going on, and we're going to be going ahead and working on some more. I'm thinking about building a John Deere grapple skidder. I think that's what we're going to work on here first, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, only OGs remember the stream, man. Yeah, it's been about 2 years, like I said a little bit earlier. It has been a hot minute since I streamed, but hopefully we'll have some more streams here and there. Something that I can probably look into doing here. And just during the time when I was doing the streams and stuff, I was really obviously busy with transitioning, moving to the new area I live in, and all that kind of stuff. So definitely a lot of things changed during the time, and just kind of streaming, fell to the wayside, trying to make room for all this other stuff, then obviously the load of content and everything like that I was working with as well. So it's good to hop on here and do a little bit more streaming, building some more equipment, and figured since I'll probably be building here for the next few hours, I might as well stream it for you guys. PCS for Robbins for Depot. We both made it out for the better life. I hope you're good. That's awesome, man. Glad you're doing well. I can't say I miss DMI. Place was an absolute shit show, so hopefully it's better for you and Robbins, but definitely glad to hear you're doing well. Alpha, I've been doing pretty good. How about yourself, man? Just been kind of chilling, taking life one day at a time. Just finished my technical training with the Air National Guard, so going to be going back to my civilian work tomorrow, which I'm not totally excited about, but we'll see. The IT market's really trash right now, so I'm trying to get into IT, and so far it's been a struggle, so I'm just going back to my old job and still trying to look for a job. So it's definitely a little bit of a struggle, but I know the right job will come along sometime, so just a matter of waiting is really all it is. Remember, your only construction vehicles are the skid, steer loader, and a road roar. Yeah, those were the only ones for a long time, and that's really, for some reason, I just never built more construction vehicles. It's something I've always really enjoyed doing, and I've always thought construction vehicles were pretty cool and fun to do, but I think part of it was really with the way that I was running my old channel. Basically, I say my old channel, but running the channel before, is that all content I was doing, it had to have like a purpose. So when I was doing a lot of my content for the military vehicles, those are what people want to see. And when I would do content for vehicles like this, so construction vehicles, they really wouldn't get the same amount of views. So it was kind of hard for me to, sit there and really work on a lot of construction vehicles when they weren't really going to get the views. And it's kind of a bad way to look at things, I think. And I'm kind of out of that mindset now, so pretty happy about that. But so far I've been enjoying it, and I built a lot. And if you guys are interested in any of these construction vehicles, you see even the ones in the stream, I will be posting these on Planet Minecraft, and my link for my Planet Minecraft will be down in my video description for this stream. So if you guys do want to download any of these vehicles or see some more pictures and stuff of them, they will be getting posted on there. So definitely check that out if you are interested. I hate constantly supporting or posting my Planet Minecraft, but I don't think a lot of people know that I'm going to be posting a lot of vehicles that won't be tutorials on there. So definitely something cool to check out. Skill Vaughn, I've been doing pretty well, man. How about yourself? Thanks for joining in on the stream. Let's see, I need an anvil. I don't think I think one's over here I can grab. Yep. So I've been doing fine. That's glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it indeed. And if you do see me going back and forth here, I am trying to change my angles or pictures that I have here that I'm using to replicate this vehicle. So I'll be switching back and forth here, here and there. So, but yeah, definitely been a little while since we've done a stream. Hopefully you guys are, excited for maybe the possible return of more streams. And if it's something you guys have been or enjoying, then definitely let me know, because I'll definitely try to do some more here and there. Especially because I spent all this time building. Might as well to stream or something, or at least show you guys my building process or whatever. Because I feel like, at least in the way I learn on how to build, is seeing others build. That's where I first got my start. So hopefully maybe myself building here can kind of give you guys a little insight on how I go about setting up stuff and doing things, and then you can kind of just go crazy from there. Just finished the Titan 2 missile silo, made it myself. That's awesome, man. Glad to hear it. It's a Titan 2 missile silo. It's a pretty cool build. It's one of the cool ones that's fun to do, because there's actually a lot of reference available for it, especially for the museum. And I've been able to go in the museum itself, so building it firsthand, it was pretty cool to do. And you can't do that with most stuff. Most stuff you don't get the ability to go actually in person and see that museum, or see the inside of a missile silo especially. That's not something that's very common today. So it's pretty cool stuff. I think there is a Minuteman museum somewhere in the Midwest, probably in one of the Dakotas or something like that. But I think that'd be really cool to see, and maybe possibly even build in the future or something like that, if I wanted to do another missile silo build. So that should be pretty cool. What's up, Atlas? I got my husky right here chilling. He's hanging out, doing his thing. On terms of logging, if I may plant a seed, what about some logging locomotives? That might be kind of interesting. I actually haven't thought about that. I know, especially with the way I'm trying to go about things now, is I'm really trying to broaden my horizons now. For the channel itself, most of the tutorials are probably still going to be military themed, just because that's what really a lot of the viewers want to see. At least what I've noticed draws in the views. Most people are clicking on tank tutorials rather than a tutorial for a crane or something. So most likely those will be things that I can build, but it will probably be something that would be posted on Planet Minecraft, and probably just won't be like a tutorial or anything like Sandstone or anything. But definitely a good idea. I'll definitely have to look into those. I do want to build some more trains and kind of experiment more with them because I think trains are pretty cool. Again, just something I haven't really played around too much with on the channel, and I think would be pretty fun to do. So should be a live stream, yeah. No, definitely could be if I start that project, and maybe some other projects. There's some other projects I'm thinking about, and I don't want to like mention any projects. So I don't want anybody to think that for sure they're coming, or for sure I'm going to do anything like that, because I don't want to get anybody excited for something that may not actually turn into anything. So I think the goal with that is that we'll probably just try to, wait and see if those actually become a thing. And if they do, awesome. If they don't, then whatever. But definitely if I'm working on some of those other projects that I kind of want to do, we'll probably see some live streams here and there for those. So it should be pretty good. Yeah, trains and armor trains, definitely. I do want to make a new Zumrits, since I did have that in a 2-to-1 scale, 2-to-1 scale. I'd like to make a new one in a 1.5-to-1 scale, and then I'd also want to do a remake for the Polish armor train I did, which I can't remember the name of it, but there was a particular name for it. So I do want to rebuild that one also in 2-to-1, and then look at some of the just kind of standalone little armored cars that had like the Panzer turrets and stuff. I know Germany was doing some pretty whack stuff with some of those, so I think it'd be pretty cool to do some of those things for sure. How you doing, Puppy Pants? Love my builds. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and glad you enjoy the builds. I kind of like them too. I think they're pretty cool. If I do say so myself. Well, I don't know about a minimum silo, if it's for sure ever going to be a thing. I have personally not been to the museum, so it's one of those things that I feel like with that in particular, it's something I actually need to be like inspired to do. So having actually been to the museum and seeing it firsthand, like that's the whole reason I built the Titan 2 museum, was because like I went there and it was fresh in my mind. I'm like, this was pretty cool. I want to build it. So I don't want to say that that's going to be a project or anything, but I was just kind of mentioning that along the lines of like, there's a lot of stuff that I could build. And the Titan Museum was kind of special in that sense, is that it's one of those that you can actually go inside of, which is not very common for missile silos, especially decommissioned ones and active ones, because just the security around them, and most of the time they're just left to fall apart. So there's a trench locomotive from World War I. I think a few are preserved. The models of it are produced. That sounds actually pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool also. Again, World War I trains and stuff like that also would be really cool to do. I want to kind of, again, try to focus on more of like the unknown stuff, a lot of stuff that just kind of goes unappreciated, I guess, or just unbuilt or really touched on by the building community in general. So try to do some more unique stuff. But I do have that Titan 2 museum built in 2-to-1. So I mean, I kind of already did build one. It's just I never fully finished it, and the whole inside was pretty much finished. It was just really the outside portion that needed polishing and finishing. You built one of my submarines on a server. You built it in survival. That's pretty wild. I personally would never ever build one of my builds in survival. It's just not a fun time. I'm a mad respect to you for doing it, but I personally couldn't do it. It's just too much, especially with the detail I put into my stuff and like all that. That's just too crazy. But mad respect to you, man. That's pretty impressive. And a lot of people have told me here and there that they do build my stuff in survival, which I still find is just absolutely crazy. Because it's just like, for me personally, if I was looking at builds and stuff and I stumbled across this, my channel or whatever, and I was in survival, I'm like, no, I'm not building that. It's like, good luck. But some people do it, and it's pretty impressive. I think we'll probably go something like this here instead. Probably work a little bit better. Still have your 2-to-1 world, and your new one feels empty. I know. It's filling up pretty quick, though. I've really been probably the most inspired I've ever been when building since switching to 1.5 to 1. Like with the original 2-to-1 model world, there's tons of stuff, but that was over the course of years. And it's probably the world is probably about 3 years old, I'd say. So obviously you did have a lot of stuff on there. But I think I'm filling in the 1.5 to 1 world really quick for what it is, and obviously trying to juggle playing Minecraft and building, in between, real life responsibilities and stuff. I think I'm making some pretty good progress and getting it filled in quick. Obviously not trying to rush it or anything like that. What I build what I build, but so far I'm really happy with it, and I like the new organization for it. I think everything's a lot cleaner in it, so it's just all around. I like the world a lot better. So, but the 2-to-1 world's always gonna be impressive just because the amount of stuff is on it. I know MC Military Force did a little showcase of it when I was originally back when I was done with YouTube, and you can definitely tell like it's crazy for a person that isn't really used to it going through it and just seeing it all, and just the amount of sheer amount of stuff is in it. It's pretty crazy. I want to build your Russian carrier on survival. I have to change a lot of stuff to make it work though. Yeah, you're talking about one of the bathtub builds. Be a little tricky. Use a lot of complicated blocks that aren't super easy to get in survival, unfortunately. You still visit some of your older worlds? Yeah, I do all the time. I do have the 2-to-1 world. I have my own personal server. It's not open to the public or anything, so don't ask. But it is my own little private server where I have all my worlds, and eventually I'll fly around and check them out here and there. But really just kind of depends. Most of the time I'm really sticking to just where I'm building at for the time being, but I'll go back and I've checked out the old airbase projects. Some of you guys may remember that have been around for a while. So I've gone and checked out those old airbase worlds and stuff like that, and I've checked out those here and there, but for the most part I'm kind of just sticking on the 1.5 to 1 world right now. Difference between 1.5 and 2-to-1, it's pretty much just the scale of it. So 2-to-1 is obviously going to be just a tiny bit bigger in comparison. So if you have a vehicle that's 4 blocks long in 1-to-1, it's going to be 6 blocks long in 1.5 to 1, and then 8 blocks long in 2-to-1. So it's going to be a little bit different. Really, it's not a huge difference, but it is it's definitely noticeable, I think. But it's a fun scale just because I feel like it's definitely more realistic in terms of what it would feel like to stand next to a piece of equipment and all that. I'm sure you lose out on some detail, but I think I've been doing a fairly good job with still maintaining a lot of detail for the scale I'm at, so it's pretty good. I'm surprised you don't remember me. Well, I do remember you. So, yeah. 1.5 to 1 is more player size. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot more accurate to the player scale, and also I think it's a nicer all-around scale. Granted, every scale has its plus or minus. There's no one scale that's the best scale ever to use or anything like that. It's always going to be, kind of up to personal preference on what you prefer and what you like. But for this scale here, I've been really enjoying it. So, which is good because I was for a while there I was very tired of Minecraft in general, and building this new scale kind of rejuvenated that excitement and love, if you want to call it that. So, it's been pretty good to me so far. Let's see. I need this material here, so we'll grab some of this. And of course, if you guys have any ideas for future live streams or maybe some other stuff that I can build in those streams, definitely be sure to let me know, or focused area streams. Be pretty good. So, how's it going, Outcast Empress? Appreciate you stopping by. How how you like North Carolina? I'm loving it. I love it out here a lot. Just recently got back. I was gone here, and I was in Mississippi for a little while. I covered it a little bit in my video that I made when I was announcing my return, but I was there for military stuff in Mississippi, so finally able to get back to North Carolina. It's nice. I really do like it out here. So a lot better than the other places I've been, that's for sure. These vehicles look awesome. Well, thanks so much, Zachy. If you want to take a look at them more, they're on Planet Minecraft. So I have been posting all of these on Planet Minecraft. So there's some pretty cool stuff for sure. And I did take a look at some of these in the beginning of the stream, but some of the vehicles were covered in the Model World release video, like the cranes and such. But I did build a bulldozer here last night, and today I just finished up this giant Cat 6060 bucket excavator, which is pretty sick. So those have been finished up, and also this log forwarder. So some pretty cool stuff. I'd like to see you play War Thunder again. One of the reasons I got in the game, really. I haven't played War Thunder in a long time. I used to play it here and there, but it's just one of those games that I just got tired of the grind, and for me, and just time management wise, it's just hard to justify spending so much time on that game grinding for forever for just a different variant of the same aircraft. It's just hard. Trust me, I'd love to have the A10. I'd love to fly that around and just murk people with it, but it's just impossible. So to spend that much time, you could showboat herself, plus a few more practically in your backyard. Yeah. No, that's it's pretty cool. I got to go to the museum. I've been there once. I definitely want to go there again. It's an awesome battleship museum. One of my personal favorites. I just went to the Alabama back in February, so that was really cool. The Alabama is another really sick museum, because at that time I've only been on the Iowas, so it was really cool to actually see the other smaller battleships, if you want to call them smaller battleships, but stuff that wasn't Iowa level scale is pretty cool to see. This is definitely a big difference in the size of them, which is pretty crazy. But the Iowa's really cool. I think they're still my favorite battleship to visit, just because they're just so cool. I mean, you can't look at the Iowa and tell me it's not a cool battleship. I went to the Wisconsin, which is in not Norfolk. I can't think of the name of the place. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's in Virginia, but yeah, it's pretty good. The size of vehicles right now is 1.5 to 1. Collection of 2 to 1 scale Shermans and Churchill tanks. You should make a 1.5 scale collection of them. Yeah, I definitely do want to build a Shermans and Churchills in those scales, so that's definitely on my to-do list to do in the future. So definitely something that's going to be coming. Do I use tutorials? No. Everything I build is completely by me. Back when I first started building, I did use tutorials. But nowadays I build all my own stuff. So everything you see is not a tutorial, and I try to pride myself in that very much. Between me and Crafty, well, I can tell you right now, Crafty doesn't have that awesome personality I have, so it's up to you on that decision. But just putting it out there. I'm kidding. I know he's been working on that Nimitz for 200 years. It feels like at this point. It's never ending. So, how you doing, Bob? Good to see you. Large scale builds, I probably won't, just because I don't really enjoy large scale buildings. I know there's a lot of builders in the community that do build some really crazy, big scale stuff. But for me, it's just really not my jam, if that makes sense. It's just kind of not really fun to me. Doesn't look fun. I prefer the smaller ones, because I think with the large scale you lose that fun in the aspect of trying to detail and trying to figure out how you're going to accomplish things. Because with these smaller skills, like you really have to spend some time and kind of think about like how you're going to structure stuff and how you're going to set stuff up. It's a little bit more challenging than that of like, just building something super large and most stuff is going to work that you can do on it because it's just a lot bigger. So you have a lot more room to work with in terms of detail and all that. Thanks, Royal. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind here in chat. Iowas are really cool. Yeah, absolutely. They're really cool. It would be cool to see some other, like, battleships and stuff like that, or other ships, and kind of compare them to the Iowas, but fortunately, there just really aren't that many out there. One of my things I do want to see is I do want to see Texas eventually. That's one of my big things. Really want to see that, especially after the whole dry dock repairs it's getting and all that. So should be pretty awesome to see once it's all done. F-14. Yeah, F-14's pretty cool. So I definitely one of those aircraft that will be built eventually. Just matter of when. Let's see, probably gonna go about there in height. And we're going to place these here. So something kind of like that for the hydraulics there. It's not perfect, but it works. I have not been to Fort Moore. I'm not too familiar with Fort Moore. If you want to tell me a little bit about it, that'd definitely be awesome. But yeah, as for being there, I have never been or really familiar with it. Let's see. More Russian warships and helis. Yeah, absolutely. I've, for some reason, really been slacking on doing some helicopters in this new scale. So far, I've only really done the Blackhawks, so I'm definitely going to try to expand that a little bit and get into doing some of those here soon. But yeah, just I haven't done a whole lot of those yet, but those will be coming, of course. Yeah, I do love the helicopters and stuff, so. Yeah, absolutely. You should do a custom World War II naval base for 1.5 ships. Yeah, it's definitely possible. It's just really a matter of just picking a project and sticking to it. Been working on a lot of really big builds and stuff like that, and stuff like that in Minecraft. Just kind of been building smaller scale, or just smaller, in particular builds, and haven't really been looking at doing like some big long-term projects, but that might change here in the future. I'm just kind of trying to play things out because I'm going to be going to a new work schedule, so I'm going to be working 4 10-hour shifts and then have 3 days off. So could be a good thing, could be not, but those 4 days I know for sure I'm not going to be getting anything done, so I'm going to have to definitely be relying on some of those days off to really get caught up with content and stuff. So you find the USS Dakota Memorial Park. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to definitely check it out. Hey, what's up, Kaiser? How you doing, man? I saw you post a video. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but that's pretty awesome. I wasn't actually expecting you to come back and be posting videos, so really cool to see you back and doing that. And if you guys haven't already, please go check out Kaiser, the Valkyrie Rockbald. He does some pretty awesome builds. He's a really talented builder. He took a bit of a break from Minecraft in general. I guess kind of similar to me, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, he took a break and was away for quite a while, and he actually just came back recently, and it's cool to see him back. So it seems like a lot of people are kind of trickling back into Minecraft, which is awesome. Minecraft's just one of those games that you just kind of go through phases. There's points where you love it and points you hate it. So, pretty crazy stuff. I do not play Ace Combat. I've never played it either. So, I'm not all too familiar with it, if I'm being honest. Are your 2-to-1 builds available? Yeah, so you can find all the tutorials for it. There's also my original model world. There's downloads for it if you do want to download it. So there are plenty of ways to get it and access it. So if you are interested in those 2-to-1 builds, you sure can. Hop on there and get the world for yourself. So next tutorial video will probably be Tuesday. I might work on it tonight. I might not. It's just kind of a matter of how I'm feeling for the rest of the night. I have been slacking a little bit in terms of tutorials, but I'll have another one out here definitely in the next few days sometime. But I don't want to say a particular day because I'm not 100% sure if I'm able to make that or not. So should be soon though. Fillmore is a military-based tank museum. It's where a bunch of the post-war American prototypes are held. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll have to definitely put that on my list because that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, you can probably tell by me building vehicles and stuff. I do really love those military museums and checking that kind of stuff out. So I'm definitely down to check out some military museums and all that kind of stuff. So, the debug stick is so good for high detail builds. Oh yeah, it's an absolute game changer if I'm being honest. Like I couldn't go back to building without the debug stick, and it sucks that not all versions of Minecraft have it. I really wish that they would incorporate it so that everybody had it. But Bedrock is just the weaker version. I can't stand Bedrock. So just not happy with that. I know when I switched over to PC, it was a night and day difference. For those of you that don't know, I used to build strictly on Xbox, so I was only an Xbox builder for a very long time and swore by Xbox, was the Xbox's biggest fanboy. It's like, I will never go to PC, yada yada yada, all this stuff. Using the typical arguments and stuff. But ever since I actually switched over, I was like, man, this is just so much better. So much better in every way. And I was actually really mad because a while back they made it so that you actually have to link your account to Microsoft and all that stuff. So it was really annoying because you had to link your account and everything, which is fine, it's whatever. But the main issue kind of came from where the Xbox services are down and you can't actually log into your account, which is just ridiculous for Minecraft on PC. That's a Java edition, not even Bedrock. So it just makes no sense at all. It's pretty wild. Yeah, wish it was on PS5. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet piece of equipment. You can just close the door if you want. Okay, sorry about that. Building roads on console, your construction builds, move away from the military somewhere. Yeah, small town has a core. Yeah, no, they're pretty fun, dude. Construction builds are kind of slept on. I don't know why I haven't really built much of them beforehand, but I'm having a blast with them right now. The 2-in-1 world download, you can find that if you go ahead and search on my channel. If you look for the Model World updates, it's going to be not the 2.0, but it should be like Model World 1.4 or whatever. I think it's the last version. You can find it on there. And there'll be a download down in the video description. If you still can't find the video, I can try pulling it up real quick or whatever and giving you the download link for it. But it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a MediaFire download, and then you just put in your worlds folder and all that stuff, and you're good to go. But yeah, I was also switching to 1.20. Finally did that. was slacking real hardcore on updating my server for whatever reason. So now 1.20 and having access to a lot of all the cool new blocks and stuff. So that's been pretty sweet. Can't believe it really took me this long to upgrade or to update my server, but here we are. So finally good to go. Sounds good, Skelvon. I really appreciate you stopping by, man. Have a good one. Most recent 2-to-1 model world missing so much stuff. I don't think it's missing anything. I really don't think it is. The most recent one should be pretty accurate. I think maybe besides 1 or 2 builds that didn't get transferred over for whatever reason. I think there was only a few things to where I was like, there's no point doing an update for it, but everything should be on there. So I'm not sure exactly what you think is missing. Yeah, I saw that I had to build one and that was up armored. It says, yeah, absolutely. I do want to build the military version because the army, I think it's the army. Could be somebody else. Who knows? But they actually have a armored version of it, and I want to build that. So that's something I was going to do last night, and then I was like, I'm fine. I want to really build this the big Cat 6 6060. So I started building that and finished that up today and all that. See, there we go. That's better right there. So pretty good stuff. Build something with a mulching head if you're doing forestry, maybe a compact track loader or excavator. Yeah, definitely. This is just kind of the first set. Like, this is my first time building forestry equipment, so I don't know a whole lot about it. Really, I'm just looking at John Deere's website and looking at anything that looks cool and building it, if I'm being honest. Like, in my other window right here, I have John Deere website brought up and just kind of building off of that. So definitely, though, would be some cool ideas. And maybe when I finish this one, I can take a look at some of those and maybe try to attempt one of those for myself. I'm trying to find some pictures of the kind of inside here. Some of this is not super easy to find. See, I might change these out to walls because the way this looks back here is, I think with the design I'm going to do, probably be better to do walls here. So let's do that and bring this back. And then what I'm going to do instead here is we'll grab some polished blackstone, probably be best. Maybe the deep slate, could probably use that. It's got like a plow on the back here for some reason, so we can maybe go ahead and incorporate that on the back. So it kind of comes back here. It's kind of this plow looking thing. So I'll have to refine that a little bit, but kind of the general idea of what we're trying to do for that. Do we become a new version of the map? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Are you asking if there's a new version of the model world or what? But there is a new version of the model world. This is a new map compared to the previous model world. So as stories relating to the armored D9, mainly drifting it once in a while. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. My recruiter when I was joining the Air Force, he was a what's the word I'm looking for? Heavy machinery operator. He was in CE, I guess is what they call it. So it's basically like their, general contractors and stuff. So he actually operated those, from my knowledge and talking with him. And I think at one point he actually did some work over at Guantanamo Bay, which is pretty cool. So now every day you get to go and do work there. He actually said it was pretty cool. Mainly because you had a beach right there, so they'd get off work and just go hang out on the beach and all that. So, but some pretty cool stuff. Hear myself when building my map to build skills. Notice your Legos in the background. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but I got a whole bunch of Lego sets. It's a little messed up. Not sure how well that's showing in the camera there, but yeah, I got a massive Lego collection to say the very least. So yeah, I got quite a collection, and currently I'm working on building the UCS AT-AT. I still have a long ways to go with that, but slowly working on that and building it. But yeah, I got quite the quite the collection, to say the very least. And I have the AT-AT, but unbuilt. Yeah, it's a cool set. Definitely recommend it, putting it together. It's pretty fun. Mage Trainer 1.5 to 1. Yeah, no, for sure. So basically, what really kind of sparked it was, I was kind of getting to the point where I was bored of Minecraft, and I think you kind of felt the same way, Geyser. You just kind of get burnt out over a while. There's only so much Minecraft and like building the same stuff you can. And really with 2 to 1, I felt like I built just so much stuff in 2 to 1. I was like, well, what's really next for me to build? Like what am I going to find enjoyment in, building from here on out? And I was really getting to the point where I was just like, I'm just tired of building. And that also, fueled my departure and stuff like that from Minecraft and just, YouTube and building in general. And I just kind of tried it. I was like, you know what, let me try building something in it. And I gave it a shot, and I was like, wow, this is actually a lot of fun. I really like this. And, here I am, months later and building as my soul scale. And I think it's fun. It's a fun skill. I feel like it's kind of like BAFTA builds. And the reason I like BAFTA builds is because you really have to think in a different mindset. You can't just get away with building stuff. And with bigger scales, I kind of touched on it earlier, but the bigger scale you build, the more like freedom you're able to actually use to incorporate into a build. It's a lot more easier to build stuff, I think. But when you start building these smaller scales, you have to get a lot more creative with block usage and stuff, and it's turning Minecraft more into like a creative thing where I'm trying to have to come up with interesting ideas to make things work and stuff. So it's just kind of changed the game for me, and I just really enjoy it. I like the aspect of standing next to something and it feels like what it would be in real life, so it's pretty good. How you doing, Bones? Appreciate you stopping by at work, man. Hope you're having a good one, dude. Really appreciate you saying hi. Lego set budget is like the U.S. defense budget, dude. Honestly, yeah, it's pretty bad, but I love it. It's my main hobby outside of Minecraft, so really Minecraft doesn't cost me anything to do, so might as well spend all the rest of my hobby money on Legos. So gotta do what you enjoy. Sounds good here. I can probably see if I can pull up the model world real quick. I don't think it was too long ago. Let's see here. Oh, yep, here it is. Let me grab the link for it without playing the video. That would be great. And here you go. That link I just posted there is going to be the tutorial world, the most recent download available for it. Oh, sorry. I never responded to your comment, Empress. The ton of plots there, those were never anything was built there. That was mainly Derek, who was going to be commissioning those builds in the future, and I just never got around to fully doing them. So they were mainly just kind of placeholders for the time being until I actually got around to building them. So he just kind of jumped the gun and built those plots anyway. But they weren't. There's nothing that was. Those were never built, or there's nothing missing or anything like that from those. I haven't really done much vehicle building, but I might have to give it a shot. Yeah, I mean it's fun, dude. It's clearly it's fun. I mean I've been doing vehicles for a very long time now, and I still have a lot of fun doing it. So it's a lot of fun. It can be challenging and rewarding. So, but it's definitely a good time, to say the very least. My dog, I have 2 dogs. I have my dog Jaeger. He just turned 4 in June, and my other dog Atlas. We don't really know fully his birthday, but what they kind of estimated for us was that he's born in like the fall sometime, so he's approaching to be 4 as well. So both the dogs right now is 3 and 4. estimated, so could be obviously a little bit different and stuff like that. So who really knows? Dogs, though, it's kind of hard, especially when you adopt them. You just never know exactly their background and all that. Why did I change scale? Mainly just because I got tired of 2 to 1, 1.5 to 1. I just have a lot more fun building. It's something new, different. You know, when you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, you kind of get tired of it. And 1.5 to 1 is just kind of something different, something more unique for me to do. So, switched over to it, and I enjoy it quite a bit. Respect for the builds. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Mita. Thank you so much for the kind words. So thinking something like that there for this plow on the back. I think it looks aight. Not exactly sure if I'm fully happy with it, but it looks about right. I mean, maybe it should stick up or sit up here a little bit higher. Lose a little bit of the detail there on the vents, but and we lose those item frames there, so that might be a bit of a problem, but I can mess around with that and see if I can get that changed with banners. As for this, though, we'll kind of take this up like so and probably do something like this. So that looks a little bit better there for that, so I like that. But yeah, I want to stop doing 2 to 1 builds. I kind of answered that before, but yeah, mainly just because I got tired of the scale. And it's not a terrible scale by any means, but it's just something, you know, when you build all the stuff in one scale and you just kind of get tired of it. And with 1.5 to 1, stuff's a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit more manageable for me to do. A little bit easier to do tutorials on, a little bit easier for me to build. But also it's a little bit more size accurate, and a lot of builders build in 1.5 to 1. So one of the big things is, you know, I feel like a lot of viewers of other channels that build in smaller scales, they're going to stick with those channels because they are in that scale and a lot of their stuff scales together. Well, my stuff is just kind of like the outlier, so it doesn't really work with anybody's stuff. So it's kind of nice to, you know, make sure that all my stuff kind of matches everybody else's in terms of scale, and everybody can kind of go back and forth between it and all that need be. So that's pretty much the reason. I mean, there's nothing too crazy behind it. Just wanted a change of scenery. So try a 10 to 1 scale. Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I am good with that. I don't really enjoy the large building. It's not my thing. There's a huge Volvo log grapple. It can pick entire log loads out of logging trucks in one go. That's pretty sick. I might have to look at that. But I think this grappler here is looking pretty good so far. I like the John Deere on the side there. Got the little logo. Just trying to see if there's some little intricate details I'm missing. But so far I'm really liking that. I'm gonna see if I can switch my view I have over here and see if I can find some things here and there that might be good to do for it. But I definitely want to get in like more farming equipment and just overall like stuff like this. I think it's pretty cool stuff to say the least there. So I'm trying to build some of the Russian warships on the server I'm playing on. Server, so I have a live map, which I can see boats on. That's pretty cool, man. Have I worked with Conquest Resource Pack and Conquest Reforged? Is that like the medieval pack? I could be completely wrong, but if I remember correctly, I think that's the medieval pack. I personally have never used it, though. I used to watch a couple of channels that did use them, and I thought the pack was pretty cool. Personally, it's pretty crazy what they're able to do. But I see the problem is with a lot of those packs, and you know, maybe it's just me feeling this way, is that I feel like a lot of those packs, they take away from the simplicity, which is Minecraft. You know, I am using a resource pack, but this resource pack doesn't change Minecraft too much to the point where I'm like, this is just too much. You know, so that's why I like, I like default because it's simple. You can tell it's Minecraft, and really when you get those other complex texture packs, it really doesn't feel like Minecraft anymore. Takes a lot of the fun out, I think. So, certified John Deere builder, absolutely, dude. Stop Star Wars builds, just mainly because of a view situation. I'm sure that they're going to return here in the future. So I wouldn't put that past like seeing the return of of Star Wars builds. But for the time being, I'm just kind of just building whatever interests me at the moment, and really Star Wars isn't interesting me, especially with the Acolyte and all that stuff. I haven't really been inspired to build in Star Wars just because of the shows currently out. Just really aren't great. So hopefully things change or turn around, stuff like that. See some cool stuff, get inspired, and start building some more of it. Yeah, Duke on Red 1. I used to love his medieval. I used to build medieval way back when I first started building in Minecraft, and I always loved Dukon's vids. They were he was building some pretty cool stuff, that's for sure. But I think that's probably about it for what I'm gonna do on this this build. I might touch it a little bit up off stream, but I think that's what I'm gonna do for the skid loader here. I think that's pretty sick. So now I got to figure out what I'm going to build next here. Actually, I think I am missing one thing. We do need to have the exhaust on the back here. So almost forgot about that. But it looks like it's pretty simply just a little block right there, and that's the exhaust. So let's see here. I do have a D9 dozer. I actually just built it. It's available for download on my Planet Minecraft, but I actually just finished that last night and posted it. And the Planet Minecraft account is actually down in the video description. So if you want to head on over there, you can see it. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my John Deere here for a second and see if there's anything else on here that we can see. It looks pretty cool, pretty interesting. Tracked harvesters. That sounds kind of cool. What we got going on here? I got some like excavator type stuff. Not really feeling an excavator. Let's see what else we got here. Shovel loggers, knuckle boom loaders. What is that thing? That's actually pretty sweet. It's like, that's pretty cool. I think we're going to try to build that. So let me pull up some pictures here of it. We're going to build a John Deere knuckle loader. Knuckle boom loader. That's kind of weird. Like some of them are on like stands and other ones are like on trailers. So we could build a trailer with this thing. Okay. Yeah, we found what we're building. It's pretty good. If we're going to build a knuckle loader, that sounds cool. So looking at Farming Simulator, it's a Volvo. Pretty cool. I might have to check that out then. That sounds really cool. But yeah, we got that done. We're going to go ahead and build something a little bit else. So I could try a stump grinder. I'm probably going to do this knuckle boom loader thing. It looks pretty sweet. So we'll give that a try. How much do I stream? Not too often. This is kind of the first time in actually probably about 2 years, if I'm being honest. So it has it's been a long time. But what we're working on next is, for those of you that want to know the specific name, we're doing the 437E knuckle boom loader. So let's go ahead and get that. Let me pull up John Deere's website here. Pull the specs up. See if I can find the brochure, because usually they have the breakdown for all of the specs and stuff. Let's see, where are you? Let's see, base carrier length. That's not what I'm looking for. Should be a pretty small build here. I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding the... Oh, here we go. There's the brochure. It's right there, right in front of my face. But it's kind of cool. It can like mount on the back of a trailer and all that. So it's pretty sweet. So let's see, H there. So overall height, H, overall frame length. So 3.8. So we'll say 4. So about 6 blocks long. Kind of gonna suck because it's an even number, but we'll make it work. I miss you guys too. Happy to be back, and hope you guys are all enjoying the content. So, pretty good stuff. Oh, thank you, Mita. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, you can find some good content that you enjoy and everything. But definitely really appreciate you taking the time to subscribe, and I hope to see you around the channel for sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the trailer version. It's weird because they have like the John Deere here. They have a version here where it's like just on stands. It's kind of funky. So not exactly sure what's going on with that, but I dig it. But I think I'll definitely do the trailer version too. It's pretty cool. So we'll have that, and we'll have to build like a little semi truck or something, and maybe some of you guys that know a little bit more about semi trucks can give me a idea of what truck I should put with it, because I don't know much about trucks, semi trucks, and all that stuff. So it really looks like the height of it's pretty shallow. It's a pretty small build here, if I'm being honest. So it's going to only go up about 1.5 blocks. Overall width here, let's see, 5'3", so about 7 wide. So it's a little bit more than I want it to be, but we'll probably do something like this here. And then I'll make a 3 wide base. And then it'll kind of come down like this. So it looks about right there for it. So it's going to be a bit of a smaller build here for this, for sure. So, Western Star, something like that. Yeah, definitely. We'll take a look at those here once we get to once we get this done and we build like the trailer and all that stuff. We can definitely take a look at some of the logging semis. That would be pretty cool to add on to this thing, because I think this thing is going to look really cool, especially on the back of a trailer. It's like John Deere. They have some crazy stuff, that's for sure. So this platform here is about 6 blocks long. So it's kind of a longer platform. It's weird. It's more of definitely more rectangular than anything, but we'll go ahead and do that. Which is kind of weird. You think it'd be more of a square platform for stability, but here it is, a rectangle. So we got the legs set up there for it, so that's looking pretty good. And then we got that done. We can pretty much start on the top up here. Now, what kind of makes things complicated is this thing's not going to be center because of the way it's set up. And I might make the platform 5 blocks like this, so it kind of makes it a little bit more better, because more better is not actually a proper English. But kind of do something like this so that we have a center point. Making things a lot easier to do here. Currently, I live in North Carolina. So, live in North Carolina. Like it a lot. It's pretty nice. So let's go ahead and grab some of our green material here, because we're going to need it for this. But this actually should be a pretty quick little build for us to knock out here. And technically it overhangs a little bit on the back, but I think if we did a full block, it would be too much. Yeah, I think that'd be just too much hanging off the back there. We'll leave it like that for right now, and we'll kind of mess around with it and see. Weir Steel is one of the proposals for the American tank that was armed John Deere tractor. An armed John Deere tractor. That's pretty wild. How you doing, Private Teague? Thanks so much for stopping by, man. Really appreciate you coming out and saying hello. So we have this here. We're going to go ahead and get the arm built for it. So the arm kind of starts immediately right here and goes up. And we'll probably have this arm about maybe like a 45-degree angle is what I'm thinking. And then we'll have the other arm just kind of straight out, and then just the hook kind of hanging down there. You download World Edit. You can just really search it. It really just depends. There's plenty of tutorials out there really to do it. Honestly, if I'm being honest, every time I have to download World Edit, I gotta watch a little tutorial real quick to see, to remember the steps to do it. 'Cause it feels like it's always changing with the way Minecraft is constantly changing. They're doing it different ways and stuff, but it's pretty straightforward. You just got to go and search up World Edit, and it really honestly should be one of the first things that pops up. Do something like that there. And I want to do this here. This is going to look better. There we go. So something kind of like that. It's not perfect how I want it, but we'll have to see here. Maybe I could use a barrier block for putting the hydraulics on. Let's see, there we go. Put a barrier block in right here. Maybe we can use like a lever or something, and that would work pretty well there for that. But yeah, so pretty good stuff there. So that's the hydraulics there for it. Goes up into here, and then there's another hydraulic arm that goes out this way. We have the connection, which will probably be right here, which connects us to our second joint of the arm, or appendage of the arm, if you want to call it that. So let's get that set up here. So we get something like that. And we'll use a little bit of World Edit here to modify this. So yeah, that looks pretty good there. And then for this arm here, we're going to have it just come straight out. And I think the best course really for us to use here is going to be a piston. So we'll use a couple pistons for that height level that we want for it. So again, something like that. And then we'll probably place down slabs all the way to the end there. And that should be about where we want it. So about right there. And see, do I have any signs laying around? I don't think I do. So let's just grab some and we'll put those down like that. So just like that. So yeah, that right there looks pretty good. And then we'll just go ahead and drop this down. So probably go to this point here, and it's got like this little like thing that sticks down. Not really sure. So ever considered right remasters for any of the vehicles I've made? Yeah, I mean all the time. I especially used to do it quite a bit for the 2-to-1 builds. Currently right now with all the 1.5-to-1 builds I'm doing, they're all relatively new, and honestly I don't think any ones I've done so far need any kind of redoing. But the only time really be doing redoing is for any 1.5-to-1 builds. I'm not really doing the old 2-to-1 builds anymore, so those will probably never ever see a redo. But I was working through and doing a lot of redos as I went with the 2-to-1, but now since I switched over with scales, I really don't have much reason to. So I kind of haven't been thinking about any redos at this time being, but of course vehicles I did in 2-to-1 will be redone in the newer scale, so there is that if you want to kind of consider that a redo in a way. Let's kind of come down like this, and we'll do something like that so it's kind of opened up here, kind of in a way. It's not like perfect, or might be better if I open it up and toward the inside here. Actually, let me backtrack on this here a little bit. I think I'm going to do this here, and that kind of works for what I want. Not exactly there, so I'm going to grab some levers and try to use some levers here to make this out what I want to do. Yeah, no, absolutely. 1 to 5 scale for the BAFTA builds, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I plan on getting back to those pretty soon. I've been holding off on them for a little bit, just mainly because I haven't really had too much inspiration to build them, and I've just kind of been building what I find interesting at this time. So, but yeah, definitely, I do want to go back and try to do a lot of redos, especially for like the Bismarck and Scharnhorst and stuff. So, some of the older ships, as Orion just mentioned, the Enterprise definitely needs a redo. So I do want to go through and definitely look at trying to revisit those and get those spun up to being a better standard, I think, or being more up to date with what I would be happy with putting out there. But yeah, so definitely those for sure will be seeing some sort of updates and stuff. And I do want to bring them back. I mean, BAFTA builds were pretty popular on the channel. A lot of people did really enjoy them, so I feel like it'd be stupid not to ever touch BAFTA builds again. But at the time being, just kind of, building whatever interests me and stuff. And so far, BAFTA builds just really haven't, been super interested in me at this time. But I know for sure I'll pick up on them here soon. But yeah, they're pretty fun, and obviously I can't just ignore the whole topic that or the whole style I kind of started. So I take full credit for my BAFTA builds. My big Minecraft accomplishment. The funny thing is, it all started too from an April Fool's prank. That's the best part. And everybody loved it, and we're like, hey, you actually should do more of these. And here we are later, where we have tons of 1 to 5 scale ships and all that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Halo definitely is a possibility. The problem is I'm just really not into Halo anymore. Just with the way the series is gone and everything, just it's not something that super interests me. I mean, I was kind of hoping with the Halo TV show, maybe some good would come from it, but the Halo TV show was pretty poor in my eyes as well. So was not really excited about that. And like I've been saying, I've kind of just been building whatever really excites me, at the time. And Halo ain't doing it. Halo just is not the Halo that I grew up with. So I grew up playing Halo Reach and Halo 3 and all that stuff, and those are really like the Halos. So yeah, smaller tugboats, B15 scale. Yeah, they definitely would be. If I were to build any sort of full scale ship or anything, not saying I'm going to, so don't take that out of context. But any kind of like full scale ship, like PT boats, if I did another U-boat or something like that, yeah, they would all be. I'd be looking at doing them in a 1.5 to 1 scale to scale for everything, because I feel like it would be really weird to have conflicting scales, especially for stuff like that. I know for me personally, it will drive me crazy. My OCD would go in overdrive, but I know for you guys as well, and building your own worlds and stuff, it would be kind of weird and mess with some stuff. So definitely would try to avoid that. Yeah, nothing good came out of the Halo TV show. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, because I was very excited for it, and I really thought it was going to be something good, and they really had a good chance to really make a good show, but they just, I don't know. I really don't even know how to explain what they did, but they just kind of really threw out the whole story and just did whatever they wanted to, which is fine. But the fact is, you're using characters from the Halo TV or the Halo series and like labeling it Halo, when really it's just not actually what Halo is. So I think that's what frustrates me and a lot of people that I've talked to in regards to the show, and they kind of have the same sentiments. That there definitely was the potential there for it. They just wanted to go their own route for it and use the Halo brand as a way to draw in viewership, and it's definitely shown. People don't like the show, so they messed that one up pretty good. But yeah, no, I'm happy to be back. I've been having a lot of fun being back and building in Minecraft. So that's one of the only things you can really hope for. Because back before I stopped, I was not having fun with Minecraft. I'm like, this is not fun anymore. But I've been having a pretty good time. So let's see, I need some slabs here real quick. Yeah, I was like, I knew you slabs somewhere on that build, so that should be good there. And across the top here, we'll probably do something a little bit different for that. I never made it past episode 1 of the Halo series. Yeah. No, I watched all of season 1. I thought season 1 was okay. I don't think it should have been as hated as it was, and maybe that's, maybe I'm wrong about that, or crazy for feeling that way, but I honestly think that the first season wasn't that terrible. I felt the second season kind of went off the rails, but my main gripe with the show, at least for season 1, was just the whole Quan storyline. It makes no sense. It's just all over the place. She was just a whiny preteen, like trying to sit there and like watch the show, and you just switch to Quan, and you're just like, all right, no, I gotta fast forward because I honestly could care less about her storyline, which it's feel bad for saying, but that's just the reality of things. I just did not like her storyline, and I felt her character was just extremely unlikable the whole time. So her storyline was pretty awful, and that's one of the things that just really drove me crazy about the Halo TV show. But the action scenes were pretty cool. I mean, in the first season, I thought they did a pretty good job. I was kind of disappointed with the lack of Covenant. They just only had like elites and jackals for some reason. Were the only existing Covenant members. But I think that the action scenes were cool. They did a relatively decent job, I think, and got to give credit where credit's due on that. But just a lot of the other parts just really slacked. The whole storyline was just awful. Until you mentioned, and as you mentioned, the Quan storyline and merch, yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one that just absolutely hates the Quan storyline. It seems like it's pretty universal that most people just don't like it. Like, I still don't understand what the point of her is. Like, what is she going to accomplish? Like, what's the reason for her being in the show? And to be honest, I wouldn't be even surprised if the show creators don't even know that. They don't even have an answer for that either, because right now she just kind of is existing and going off in some crazy tangents. And then season 2, where one of the Spartans just like, yeah, I quit, and they're like, oh, okay, all right, well, good luck with your retirement. It's like, what? It's like, are you kidding me right now? It's like Spartans can just say that they don't want to fight anymore, and that's okay. All right, you do you. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, there was like grunts for like 1 second, and they're like, all right, that's all we have in the budget, I guess. Which is crazy, especially since grunts are like the main like enemy the Covenant has always used. Like, it's kind of a weird choice that they didn't do, like they did jackals over grunts, which is just kind of weird. I still don't get the decision on that one, but to be honest, I probably won't understand most of the decisions made in the Halo TV show. But, is what it is. It's, nothing you can do about it. It's a bad TV show, and it's all it's going to be. Hopefully that they can turn it around, but I do not have high hopes. Yeah, the 8-minute ODST short film. Yep. Really, they should focus on, if they want to make Halo shows, like I'm all for them making Halo shows, but if they're going to use the original source content, they got to stay somewhat accurate to the characters and the storyline. You can't just go change it up and all that stuff. But I'd be fully supportive of like them making like an ODST show. I think that'd be pretty cool. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. But I think they could do some really cool stuff with a ODST show. I mean, even recently I actually watched the what was the show? It was the little animated show. It has the dude. It's like the background story of Lackey. He's the the guy from the Infinity. He was the captain. It was kind of like a little bit of his like backstory or something. And I thought that was really good. I thought they did a good job with that. Was it Forward Onto Dawn? I think it was like the little short series. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Like it wasn't like amazing or anything, but for what it was, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. One of those things that's kind of forgettable. Though I think I saw it on Netflix. And I was like, oh yeah, let me watch this again. And it's like, yeah, you know what? This is a pretty good show. They did a good job with that one, and that's really all they needed to do. Just had something like that, and that'd be pretty amazing. But shows just nowadays are just going downhill, to be fair. Live action Red versus Blue, yeah. Speaking of which, it's really sad to see Rooster Teeth, that they closed their doors and all that. But really can't say I'm not surprised. I felt like the quality of their content was really going downhill the past few years, and it just definitely wasn't like the Rooster Teeth I grew up with. I felt they were a lot better. Like I remember back with Ray and Gavin and all that stuff. Like it was just a whole different time, and things just kind of went downhill. Like I can't even remember the last time I watched an actual like Rooster Teeth, upload or anything like that. I really can't even remember the last time. Let's see. I'm probably going to actually make this just slabs here so I can get like the full roof effect done. Yeah, that'll work pretty good there. Thinking a game self-centered around a marine trapped in New Mombasa could be fun. I really would like to see them take like the Helldivers aspect and make that into a Halo game. I think that would be pretty awesome. Have the enemies be like the Forerunners or the Precursors, whatever they're calling them, and then like the Covenant, obviously. But I think they could do some really cool stuff with the Helldivers type theme. And I love Helldivers. I think Helldivers is a great game. It's like the first person shooter in a long time I've been really excited about playing and have really enjoyed. See if I can get some different angles of this, because I think that, yeah. It sticks up a tad high, but just with the slabs and the way stuff is, I'm not going to be able to really get that perfectly how I want it. And sometimes you're just going to have to settle that you're just not going to be able to get that perfect. So I'm going to have to just leave that as is. Helger, it's good to see and hear from you again. 10-month break. I thought you wouldn't come back, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't think I was, to be honest. Really didn't think I was. And, got inspired to build again. And, here we are. So, but yeah, it's definitely good to be back. And I was really happy to see that. A lot of people were very excited when I announced my return and all that. So. But so far it's been great. Been loving the new style of builds and the new content. So, and many of you guys have felt the same way. So that's pretty good. By the time I graduated, Red vs. Blue was a show to watch. Yeah, Red vs. Blue used to be really good. Oh, looks like I just lost connection. See if I can connect back in it. And there we go. Looks like it's joining. Sometimes that happens. I blame Kaiser. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I've been going crazy with the detail, so it's been a whole new level of detail and a whole different scale. So, but I think that looks pretty good for what I'm trying to create here. Platform-wise, I don't really think I'm missing too much on it. Again, this might be one of those builds I just kind of come back to later on after stream and just kind of tweak some things here and there, or find something to nitpick or want to change. So we'll just have to see here. So, but for the most part, I think that's pretty good. And then we got to put it on a trailer, so that should be pretty interesting because I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. Now, realistically, the trailers and the trucks, the trailer's probably going to have to be 4 blocks wide. So what that's going to mean for us is we're going to have to probably make something a little janky here to get this to work. Yeah. No, they both have their plus and cons, or their goods and their bads, for sure. I mean, there's definitely things about 2 to 1 that I like a lot more than, 1.5 to 1, and there's a lot of things I like about 1.5 to 1. And so far, really, I have definitely gravitated toward 1.5 to 1. I think it's really my new go-to skill. But also, I really enjoy going back and like rebuilding a lot of the old stuff I've done, because I build F-16 and 2 to 1. Cool. I'm probably not gonna build another one, But now I'm actually be able to go back here and like play around with them and do it again, and it's like a whole different build. It's something different, something fresh, unique. So right now we're trying to set up a trailer here, so I'm trying to figure out what I need to do for this, since this is typically mounted on a trailer. That's pretty interesting. They have like a yellow thing on this trailer. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna build a trailer up for this thing so that it it's a nice little trailer. Yeah, no, it is a bummer. I really thought invisible item frames were a thing on Bedrock, and originally that's what I thought, because there's so many videos out there that are like, oh, if you use this command and all that stuff, you can get invisible item frames. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to incorporate in my builds because they're on Bedrock. But sure enough, that was a lie, and I should know firsthand not to trust anything people say on the internet. But I was pretty bummed about that, and it's kind of stupid, honestly. It's like, why? Why can't you just why you got to be the way you are, Minecraft? Why can't we just have everything be the same and all that? It's just, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense, and probably never will. But yeah, invisible item frames are very majestic, and I actually am building this 2 wide here. So this trailer is going to have to probably be 4 wide, because I know for a fact that tractor trailers are going to be probably about 4 blocks wide in this scale as well. So we'll have to kind of do some modifications here and kind of make some things work here. So it's going to look a little strange, to say the least. If I may suggest something for your first agriculture build, I suggest a John Deere 6R. It's a decent mid-range tractor that can be fitted with a front loader. Yeah, man, that'd be pretty good. Pretty good idea. I'm kind of considering this an agriculture build. I mean, I know it's not really an agriculture build, but I mean, it kind of is. I see as like the forestry industry as being a agricultural field. But that's just my personal view on it. I don't know if it's really considered that or not. A friend had invisible item frames in Bedrock, but I can't find that mod. Yeah, there's like a glitch. There's glitches to do it, but it's inconsistent and not readily reliable, like putting in commands, which I thought was the way that it was done. Yeah, they changed the coding. Bedrock has the Java has a much easier coding. They definitely like went ahead and they Microsoft it when they built it for Bedrock. And what I mean by that is they just basically made it so you can't really modify the code. They locked down the source code for it, so it's very much just a hot mess that only they can change and modify, as Microsoft likes to do, because they want to actually like charge people for like different mods and different add-ons and stuff like that, and it's very typical for them to pull that kind of crap. It's the same thing like they made Java players register their Microsoft accounts for the Java to be able to play on Java, and then you can't play Java when the servers go down. Like that just mind boggles me. I don't understand it at all. It's just so frustrating. I have thought about getting Farming Simulator. It's just, I don't know if it's something like I would enjoy long term, like maybe to play around with like for like a day and then just kind of be like, oh, okay, like that's cool, I guess. But I don't know. I'll definitely have to like try it out a little bit more and see, maybe with the new one, because they had like a Louisiana theme that looked kind of cool from what I was seeing. So it might be kind of cool to give it a shot or something. Let's see. Do I want to raise this up? I don't know if I want to make this taller. I feel like if I make this taller, it's going to be kind of weird. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. Actually, I'm probably going to bring these in more like this instead here. Not have them so far stuck out. So something like that there. And then I think I'm probably going to make this platform a little taller. Maybe a little bit inaccurate, but it looks like it sits up quite a bit. So we'll go with it. Not that big of a deal. Use the fill command Bedrock. Yeah, like they have some commands on there, which is kind of cool, but other ones it's just they don't have any, and it's kind of weird. Let's see, how long is this thing? This thing's 5 blocks long, so this is going to be a little bit over. So I think I might need to bring this back end in a little bit to make it so that we don't have such a drastic difference there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and bring this in one more so it's closer to the wheelbase. So yeah, that should work a little bit better here. And then we have a space of 4. So actually, was I reading this wrong? No, I was not. I was right. Yeah, I was right. We're going to do something like that there. So it won't be perfect. It's going to look a little different compared to being like off the trailer, but just the way we have to do it with the way things are, just with Minecraft and the scaling. So it's definitely a niche thing, not something that's just playing every day unless you have decent media following. Yeah, it seems fun. It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things that like I can see getting pretty old pretty quick, you know. Definitely, like you said, very niche thing to want to play all day. But the new one coming out from the trailer I saw, it does look pretty cool. So we'll have to see though. If it's goes on sale or something, maybe take a look at it. Build some vehicles from it, get some inspiration off some of the models and stuff. Could definitely be a go-to. An honest question, how do you build in such a great detail? Like, I'm struggling to build things on my own. Honestly, I don't know, man. Like, I just build. This is really the way I do it. There's no real rhyme or reason to how I come up with the things I do. But just building and seeing what works and all that stuff. But after you've been building for so long like I have, you kind of get to the point where you can look at something and you know immediately like how to build it. So for me, a lot of times I'll look at these vehicles and I'm like, boom, like I know exactly what I'm doing for it. So I can just kind of start like in my head, basically building it out, kind of subconsciously. It's like a weird flex, I guess, I guess you can say. I don't know, but there really is like no good way to tell. It's basically like you just have to have like the ability to look at like blocks and look at a vehicle and just kind of be like, yeah, that could work for that, or just kind of piece things together, you know. And really just practice. Like I said, I've been building for a very long time. You know, even before the videos on my channel ever came out, Like I was building Medieval on Xbox, and I've been building for a very long time, so I have a lot of experience with it. So and that also comes into play quite a bit because having a lot of experiences definitely makes building a lot easier. I do wish there was some dimensions I could use here for this thing, but unfortunately, it looks like there's probably not going to be any dimensions for like the trailer itself. So I might be kind of out of luck on that one, but we'll still make it work. It's got like something in the front, which I have no idea what it is. And actually, it looks like it doesn't actually stick out this far. Yeah, no, actually, it's more like this. So I'm actually building this wrong here. It's actually supposed to be more like this here. So yeah, that looks more right. See, sorry, I gotta catch up a little bit here. Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore you guys. Iron trapdoors would allow me to build some of the stuff that required them. Okay, that's pretty good. If you cover that. Certain parts, like, okay, what block I'm confused for then? Yeah, that's pretty much the best way to do it, honestly. Unfortunately, that's the best advice I really have for you. There is really no right or wrong way to build it. It's just playing around with it and trying different things. Like for me, it used to take me a long time to build vehicles, but now, as you can see, I can kind of build them relatively quick. I mean, I'm still slow, but I'm also streaming. Usually if I'm not streaming, I'm just like listening to music or watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. I can build pretty dang quick. It's kind of scary sometimes. Will there be a B-52 bomber hangar tutorial? I can definitely say most likely not. I especially like a B-52 specific hangar, maybe an hangar tutorial or something. That's a big maybe. I don't want to promise anything, but I would say probably not extremely likely for a dedicated B-52 hangar, if I'm being honest. I don't know if I like any of those colors there. I'm probably going to try the pressure plate approach here, so we'll probably try some of these. These will probably look a little bit closer to what I want. Yeah, that's a lot better. I don't want like fully black, but I also don't want like fully dark gray. So something like that. Hello, Garrett. Finally caught live stream for once. Well, thanks for coming by, Atomic. A good time for you to stop by. I mean, this is the first live stream I've done in a couple years, I think, actually. So you are in at a good time. So we have that set up there. I need to figure out how far this should really go. And honestly, I don't really know. There's no really good reference in terms of like how far this should really go forward. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this thing here. I'm going to use this to kind of give me an idea, I guess, of how far it should sit. So I'll copy it from here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and we'll have this offset a little bit because it is even number, so it's going to look a little funky. But unfortunately, that's just the nature of the game here. And we'll put this on top. So it will look something like that, which that looks about right there. Currently, right now, we are working on a John Deere knuckle boom. This is more specifically their 337E knuckle boom loader. It's basically just a logging piece of equipment, so use it to grab logs and put them on a trailer and all that. So that's pretty much it, though. It's nothing too crazy or fancy. But see, I'm going to take this a little bit further forward, and then I think right about there is where we'll stop it. Maybe one less there. So like this whole area right here, I'm kind of just making up as I go because we don't have actual dimensions for this, so it's definitely more of just kind of a guessing game. And honestly, this trailer might be too long for being a trailer, but we'll see. And then also, oh, thank you, Dice. I appreciate it. Also, we built this earlier in the stream. This is a skid loader. So that was pretty cool. So you can take a look at that in the beginning of the stream if you're interested in that as well. So, but yeah, been pretty busy just building some fun stuff here. I've been in a really big phase of wanting to build construction equipment and tractors and stuff like that. So that's kind of been the subject matter for this stream. And if we stream some more here and there, probably some more as well. It's a beast to log officer. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start looking into some more of these logging equipment. I was mainly just building construction stuff, and then I was like, you know what? Why don't I just randomly why don't I try some logging equipment? And there's some pretty crazy stuff. I didn't realize logging equipment went so hard. They do some crazy stuff with this equipment. So my friend's making a World War II PV game where the Germans turned the tide of the Second World War. So no, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're able to use the tutorials and put them into good use. That's why I make them. So I'm just trying right now to find a good picture. I'm trying to figure out what exactly is on the front of this thing. It's like, I really don't know what it is. It's some kind of yellow looking thing. But yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and try to build it. That's all you really can do. Let me grab these real quick and probably some nether brick fences as well. I'm going to go ahead and get these set. And if you guys are interested in downloading any of these for yourself or seeing some stuff like some pictures of it or anything kind of more proper than the stream here, these will be uploaded to my Planet Minecraft after the stream. So definitely head on over there if you haven't and check that out. So a lot of good stuff I'm posting on there, and really, like I've been saying, a lot of stuff that won't be tutorials has been getting posted on there. So would definitely recommend checking out that page. So we got that going there. And then we're going to go ahead and get probably 2 anvils for the base of this thing, I'm thinking. So like that. And then we're going to need some yellow materials. And again, I don't really know what this is on the front here. And maybe if some of you are able to look up this build I'm building and see for yourself what's going on here. But some kind of yellow piece of equipment on the front of the trailer. So trying to replicate that to the best of my ability. But there really isn't a lot of really good images for it, if I'm being honest. A small log bunk, or place to put the boom of the grapple loader. Interesting. So that means my boom might be off here in terms of its overall length. Or maybe not. I don't know. So I guess maybe I have it sticking too much. Well, maybe the trailer length, maybe we can bring the trailer length back 1, because this is angled a little bit. So if this was sticking straighter out, it would be a little bit further forward. So I guess I'll just bring the trailer, this whole section, back maybe 1 block, and that might look a little bit more realistic. And I don't know, maybe if you're looking at Farming Simulator and you're able to tell a little bit better what we're doing, you can kind of get a better idea of what the trailer's just weird. Yeah. So we'll bring the trailer back. So maybe about more like right there. Does that look a little bit better for the trailer? At least from what you're able to see in your perspective. So it kind of looks a little bit more like it should be. And we're going to go ahead and probably try to figure that out now. Yeah, trailer's a little tricky. Yeah. Definitely looks a bit better on my end. I really wish there was more like images of this this yellow piece up here. There really isn't a whole lot of I mean, there's pictures of it, but it's kind of just hard to make out what exactly it is, you know? So probably just going to build something to the best of my ability here and call it a day for that, you know? So let's see, we'll grab some bamboo. I will say though, switching over to 1.20, I really love the new bamboo blocks. They've been absolutely fantastic. They are some really good blocks. It's nice to have yellow and not having to use like sandstone or oak for this stuff. It's pretty much a major game changer, I think. So let's see, something kind of like that. It does have a log bunk on the center spine. It can be located wherever the loader needs it. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, this thing's kind of a weird piece of equipment. But, you know, we'll just make it to the best of our ability and call it good. The new heavy core. Not exactly sure what you're talking about. Heavy core. Can't say I'm too familiar with heavy core. Want to have rolled it on my worlds. You can have it privately. I used to, before I had my own server, I used to have it. It's really not too difficult. You just need to basically download like a mod loader. So Forage, or I think they use Fabric now is the new thing. So since I'm on my own personal server, I don't have any client side mods installed. So I just use everything that's on the server to run my mods off of. So that's something I personally have. But I know that you can run them client side. You just have to download a mod loader onto your client side for your device and use that to kind of run things on. So I'm back. Internet crashed. No, welcome back, man. When's Putin's car tutorial coming out? I honestly don't even know what car Putin has, so I couldn't even tell you. And probably not something I'd be tutorialing. Yeah, so I think it kind of looks something like that. I mean, it's probably not perfect by any means, but I think it works out pretty good. The blue blocks... What? I'm not even gonna ask what that is. Blue Blux Band. I can see what you're trying to imitate there, but yeah, no. Let's see. Let's do this here. Like that. I think that works pretty good. Knockoff Rolls Royce Putin cars and cars. Oh, really? That sounds about right. North Korean Rolls Royce. Oh, with the Tricky Trials update. That's the new one? That's 1.20 that came out, right? Because I haven't updated to 1.21 yet, so I'm not all too familiar with what's on it. Yeah. I'm trying to avoid really the Ukraine stuff. I know other people in particular have been making a lot of Ukraine builds and tutorials, but I'm not really for one to capitalize on ongoing conflict, I guess. Like, sure, I make World War II vehicles, I make military vehicles, sure, military vehicles, they kill people, all that kind of stuff, but I kind of just don't agree with really spamming out a lot of Russian and Ukraine stuff just because that's the ongoing, conflict right now. And I don't care for either side when it comes down to it, but it just seems kind of like, I don't know, disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Or seems a little weird. Like I recently saw a short from somebody on YouTube who had a Minecraft tank like basically blowing up Minecraft Russians in a trench. And I'm like, why? Like why would you even do that? It just, I don't know. It just seems weird. But yeah, definitely some of that stuff. It's kind of like, it's whatever. I mean, because it's historical, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, yes and no, but it's also not just strictly a Ukrainian thing. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's not like I'm going out of my way to just make tons and tons of military Ukrainian stuff. Like, I'm definitely not trying to capitalize on it. It was strictly somebody was like, "Hey, can you make destroyed tanks?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And Russian tanks do tend to have that effect. But is what it is. I don't agree with it, and never try to capitalize off of any ongoing conflicts and stuff. But is what it is. Yeah, no, I just want a peaceful resolution over there. Should be no reason people are killing each other like that, and especially a lot of the stuff too, the combat footage of them blowing up people surrendering and stuff. Like, it's just not a good situation over there, no matter what. So I've done the steps for installing it, but not sure if I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, if you look up some videos of World Edit or installing it, there should be plenty out there. Just make sure you're looking it up for your current version, because 1.20, 1.21, they're can be completely different. So just make sure you look up the right thing. But I think that's pretty good there for the knuckle loader. I'm pretty happy with it. I think that looks pretty sweet. And then we just got to create like a truck for it. So it's hooked up some kind of truck here. So I think before we talked about a truck, if you want to tell me again, I think it was Orion. You gave me an idea for a truck. If you want to give me that truck idea you had again, that would be pretty good. Now the problem is humans just will never agree with each other. There's always going to be fringe groups that never agree, and it's just always going to be ongoing conflicts. Fortunately, like, world peace is just a pipe dream at this point, Too much money in the world involved and all that kind of stuff that people are just like, we'll start a war for anything at this point, Invisible item frames, there's a command. I would recommend looking it up for your game version if you're on Java, because Java, you can only get them on Java, but every Java version for some reason now is like, it's different, so it's really weird. Yeah, no, it is the Western Star 49X. Okay, I'm gonna pull that up here real quick. But yeah, it is a war crime to do that. It's kind of weird though, because like on Reddit, you can follow like the combat footage and stuff. And I'm not recommending you go check it out if you got like a weak stomach. I definitely wouldn't recommend looking it up, because it's pretty messed up stuff. But you can see some pretty crazy stuff, like them using the drones, and they've been like blowing people up with the drones that have been like surrendering. It's pretty wild, if I'm being honest. And it mainly seems like it's coming from the Ukrainian side, and I don't want to like point out like it's only Ukraine's doing it, because I'm sure it's kind of a two-way street, but at least the combat footage that's being put on there that's what I've been seeing a lot of. And then there's a lot of the comments are like in supporting it, which is even wilder to me. Like, it doesn't matter whose side you're on, war crimes should not be celebrated in any sort of way, Trying to see if I can find the dimensions here for it. It looks pretty. It looks like a pretty cool truck, though. Definitely, probably build it for this. Let's see, B. What language is this in? Is this in French? Why is it in French? What are we doing? We'll probably just need the standard version, but it looks like I'm probably just gonna have to freehand this, unless somebody's able to figure that out. Can you show us more of the parachute that was on the J798 closer look? Otherwise, I can't build it. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and head over to my Planet Minecraft, a link for that is in the video description of this stream. Just head on over to that, and that will actually point you, or that will actually show you how to do it. It's actually in there, so I would recommend checking that out because it's a lot easier for you to see. There's screenshots, and there's actually a schematic in it as well, so you can actually pull up a 3D viewer and see it for yourself. So should make things pretty easy to replicate. Starting to lose my voice a little bit here. Been talking so much, but I appreciate you guys interacting and making it so that it's enjoyable for me as well to talk to you guys while also building. So probably gonna go with a two-wheeled version of this truck as well. What color cab are we thinking for this truck? Should we do red? Should we do, blue? Like what color are we thinking here? I'm thinking something like a little bit more unique. Like I don't want to do like something boring or whatever, like green or I don't know, gray or something. Would I ever build tanks? Let's see. First off, some of the common footage from the current war makes me sick. Yeah, it's pretty rough. And again, I'm not advocating for anybody to go on that subreddit and check it out for yourself, unless you really want to. But it's just know it's some pretty graphic stuff on there. It's pretty brutal. I mean, it's kind of crazy to see what Modern Warfare is kind of coming to. It's pretty scary stuff. That's for sure. I'm like, I would not want to be in frontline combat with the way things are nowadays. It is no joke out there. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. Let me fly over real quick to my other truck. I want to see what's going on. Otherwise, we'll look red. I think red's gonna be more doable. So I'm kind of between red or blue. So I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to vote for it. Red or blue. Purple, I don't really have good blocks that would do it because I would want to do a dark purple and not light purple, and I think light purple would look weird. So really the best bet here is probably red or blue. So I'll kind of let you guys decide there. Okay, so that's how I did this truck here. So we're probably going to be doing something pretty similar to that. Remember, the soldier isn't the bad guy, it's a politician. No, absolutely. I mean, there's also, sick people on both sides that are doing it, but I don't know. I also feel like it's not really a politician that's telling the guy to drop the grenade on a surrendering guy or something like that, Red? All right. Looks like red's winning here. So we're probably going to be making ourselves a red truck, which should look pretty good. And the trucks are hard to build at this scale. I will say that it's one of the downsides of this scale is definitely going to be like trucks and stuff because they're 4 wide. So things get a little weird, to say the least. So that comes back like that. We got the mud flaps. Truck. We're gonna do the 6-wheeled version. I don't think we need to do we don't need to do the bigger version. That just seems a bit overkill. So we're gonna tone that down a little bit, and then we'll have those that point back. We'll put some signs on the back here. Cross like this. Honestly, I'll probably get rid of that right there. And then we'll throw some item frames in here. Red for Farming Simulator, you got it. We'll do that. So I think red will look good because it'll have a nice kind of color combination with the green for the truck there, and also the yellow and all that stuff. So it should be a nice, pretty good color combo. Yeah. Your road 7 wide. Yeah. Yep, it sure is. See, I don't want white. I need light gray for the wheels here. So these should work pretty good. I remember back in the day, I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have probably heard mention of Derek here and there. He has been around for a long time, probably one of the biggest supporters of the channel. Was a Patreon for a while. Actually had like multiple Patreon accounts where he was supporting the channel and stuff like that. But he actually used to build the vehicles from the live streams, and that's actually how we found him. Found out about Derek because we didn't know the guy, but we found him. He was posted on DeviantArt some of the live stream builds I did, and, obviously giving me credit and stuff. But I was just in awe. I was like, this dude like copied the build from the live stream. Like that's crazy. And we ended up like inviting him to the Discord server, and that's how we met Derek and all that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, live streams are how I met him and all that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, that guy is built different. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. 7 wide roads because I have to work with Minecraft's natural terrain generation. Now that works. I mean, 7 wide roads aren't too bad. You're making some pretty small vehicles if that's like 7 wide for 2 lanes. So you gotta definitely shrink down your builds quite a bit for that to work, but something kind of like that, I guess, for the chassis here. We'll have to take some look at some pictures, but the render I'm looking at only shows a flat. There's nothing on the sides here, so there'll probably be some external fuel tanks or the fuel tanks mounted right there, so we'll probably adjust that accordingly here in a second. Let's see. Am I going to rebuild all the videos for 1.5 to 1 scale? No. All the 2-to-1 builds are going to stay up as they are. I don't plan on redoing any of those or anything like that. They're just going to stay up, and if I do a 1.5 to 1 F16, the 2-to-1 version is going to stay up, and the 1.5 to 1. So there's just going to be new videos for it, and everything will just remain up as it is. But really, I don't plan on and wouldn't expect for there to be any redos for any of those older builds. So think about maybe like a deep red like this would look pretty good, or kind of like a bright red. Little too vibrant for what I would personally want, but it's kind of the best we got here in terms of reds. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a darker one, but 1 lane in Battle Pass to go both ways. Okay. I get what you're saying. Gonna do something like that there, and then let's see, grab some black concrete and probably fill in the inside in here with black concrete for the time being. On the back here, we'll just do another line of red concrete. So something like that, and that's a little bit too much of a contrast there in those blocks. Let me see here. Maybe these stairs would actually work a little bit better. Those actually do work a lot better. I might actually use these here because they're not as like bright. That's the one thing. I feel like the red nether brick with this resource pack, it's a little too bright for the red. Kind of like more of a maroon color. I think that looks a lot better. How often do I want to stream? I'm not exactly sure. It's something I'm still trying to figure out. I'm thinking I might maybe try to do it maybe once a week, or whenever I know I'm going to be building for a while. Just kind of sit down, build some stuff, and if it's something people are enjoying and coming back and seeing and stuff like that, which seems like we've had a, decent amount of people in here the whole stream. We'll definitely, I'll definitely do some more. But as of right now, I don't really have like, a set stream schedule or anything like that I'm going to stream. So, though once I get my team together tonight, I'm going to line up the proper lane 2 road. Okay. Well, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Because, yeah, it definitely, some small lanes. I feel like I'd have to, if I were to build any like roads for whatever reason for any of these projects, I'd have to start looking at doing some pretty big, pretty wide lanes. Probably about 5 wide is what I'd have to be doing for at least the trucks of this size. Let's do that right there. And I'll probably just fill this in like this. It's got like a chrome front to it. So yeah, something sort of like that. Put some light gray stained glass here for the frame. Or maybe, actually I'll probably stick to red here for that. There we go. And just over here. Boom. So looking good like that. And then I'm thinking a stone brick wall will work pretty good here. So we'll probably throw that in for like the logo. That's right here. And then put an item frame. And then probably just a black bed in the item frame. How do you understand the scale of building? I never get it right. So for the way scaling works, at least what's agreed upon in the Minecraft community, is that 1 block equals 1 meter. So basically what you take is that 1 block equals 1 meter, and you just multiply that by your scale. So if you're building 1 to 1, you're going to take your build and you're going to multiply it by 1, and that's going to be your scale, how many blocks. So that's what you do for that. And then if you're wanting to build it in like 2 to 1, you're going to take your vehicle. So let's say this truck here is 8 meters long. I'm going to go ahead and multiply it by 2, and it's going to be 16 blocks long. So basically, that's pretty much all you're doing. You're just basically picking the scale you want, and you just multiply the blocks or the meters by whatever size you want, and then you just build it. That's how many blocks you have. So it really isn't anything too complicated. Once you do it a few times, you kind of get the hang of it, and it's pretty straightforward. But scaling's definitely something I recommend doing. It's one of those things that like some people do, some people they just freehand it, and I don't know, I just feel like a scaled build always looks better than a freehanded build. Personally. That's my fear. Each lane being 5 wide plus the center and edge lines and shoulder. I'm estimating about 9. Yeah. The roads get pretty quick, or can get big pretty quick. That's for sure. And if you want something that's more scalable, you definitely gotta. That's too tall. That's something you definitely gotta make sure you watch out for, because you don't want to go too crazy, and then you got like this crazy, outrageously huge build that you're just like, that's not manageable. You definitely don't want that. Let's see here. Windows on the side. How am I going to do this? Thinking probably just black stained glass panes along the side there. So we'll just grab some from right here, and we'll just put those on there. Or I could use nether brick. Yeah, we'll probably use nether brick for this. So I'm going to grab some of that, and then we'll use that for the windows here, and that should work out pretty well. But we'll do that on both sides there. That looks pretty all right. Not perfect, but I will take it. And then since we use red, I think pots actually would look pretty good with this. Yeah, those actually were pretty good. The color's not too different. That actually doesn't look half bad. So we'll probably stick with that. And then also I'm probably gonna do something like this here, show a little bit of a difference there in the bumper, and then we can just make the grill using our looms. We should be getting close to finishing this truck off. Like when scale gets bigger, I can detail more. Yeah, so typically the bigger your scale, the more detail you can fit. Is the way it kind of goes. So 2-to-1, pretty good for detail. 1.5-to-1 I think is the best in terms of being able to have kind of the best of both worlds, where you detail, but it's also close to player size. And then obviously you just have the huge scales, which are, 10-to-1 and stuff like that, where you can pretty much do all the detail you really want. Do some weathering and really do some cool effects with it. So there's definitely a lot that you can do with those larger scales for sure. Let's see that there in the front. It's looking pretty good so far. Yeah, I think this truck's looking pretty dandy so far. Pretty happy with it. We'll get the mirrors put on this bad boy. Oops, right there. And then we'll also grab ourselves our levers, because it has those that style mirror where levers here are definitely going to be really nice to use. So we'll rotate these around like so, and we'll do the same thing over here as well. So just like that, and up on top here, we'll do the same thing. Quarry build almost, if not completely, down to bedrock, and yet still 1.5-to-1 scale. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, sometimes skill works good in Minecraft, and other times it's pretty rough, to say the very least. I mean, like the bagger over here, 288. Like this thing's in 1.5-to-1 scale, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it looks small when you stand back from it, but when you get close to it, you're like, oh my god. It's pretty wild. So I think that's looking pretty good for the truck. I mean, anything you guys are seeing here with the truck that could be improved? Anything that's looking a little weird about it or anything? Let's see, I need iron bars here. We're going to do looks like the radio antenna that comes up here on the side. So we'll just do, yeah, right about there is fine. And then we have the exhaust on the back here, which we'll go ahead and set up as well. So skulls, I'm still getting used to the new 1.20 menu. Yeah, I've never done a quarry before either, so I don't really know the struggles, but I'm sure it's not fun to say the very least. But it should be a pretty cool build when it's done. I don't know too many people that have actually built quarries. Not a very common build for a lot of people. But it should be pretty interesting, especially if you take that some of the vehicles I've put to use. So something about a carrot 2x4 build. Yep. Always overachieving. It's my own my own weakness, as I can never be happy with just not over detailing. Or I say over detailing, but I think I'm just getting the right amount of detail. So it kind of looks like that in the back there. I think that looks that looks pretty legit if I'm being honest there for the truck. I think the height's pretty good on it. How's it going, Heinz? Thanks so much for stopping by, dude. Add a U.S. flag, make it more patriotic. I don't think it needs a U.S. flag, but that would be pretty easy to do. Oh, cool! You've already been putting them in there and downloading. That's awesome. Definitely glad to hear you're already getting use out of them and putting them to work. Okay, so this actually needs to change here a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this. And these are going to go right here, actually. Like that. And that looks a lot better. I think the trucks looks pretty good overall, though. Pretty happy with the size of it. I think that's pretty good. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. Let's see. Western Star Trucks. Western Star 49X. See if I can get some more pictures of it as like a semi configuration so I can make sure I get this right. Yeah, kind of a shorter truck. It's a pretty good picture. We want the do we want the extended cab version or do we want the non-extended cab or like the bunk version? Because I think the one I was building here is actually the non-bunk version of it, so it's a little bit smaller in overall size. Let's see. Everything needs flags. We have the U.S. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do plan on building the Corey dump truck, the big Caterpillar dump trucks. So I do plan on building one of those. Should be probably sometime soon. I was actually going to build it today, but just kind of was like, not right now. I just built the giant, shovel excavator. So it's like, I don't need that. Don't need that right now. Non-extended cab. Okay. So that's what we're going to be going with. Something like this right here. Just trying to see if there's anything else I can do for it. Looks like some of them they have like this that gets extended back a little bit more. So I might go ahead and try to do that. Let's see, is it on both sides? Can't really tell. Well, it looks like right here more is where the fuel tanks are mounted. So let me see how I can go about doing those. Make them a little bit different in look. Not extended for sure. Okay. Sounds good. We'll go pretty small though. Is for you to build a case quad tractor with a tow behind dirt scrapers. You got some good ideas. I'm not very familiar with construction vehicles, so obviously any ideas are more than welcome. You know, I know the standard like an excavator and stuff like that. So when you start getting into like the complex stuff, I'm like, I don't really know, but I can sure try it. Type stuff, but no, that'd be pretty cool. Definitely trying to do some cool stuff. I do want to build. I was gonna build it, but another guy on Planet Minecraft kind of beat me to it. And honestly, I could still do it. It's not like a competition or anything, but I was gonna build the giant bridge girder that China has, and I was kind of setting up plans to start doing it, and then the dude came out with like the post like the same day, and I'm like, oh, man. So he kind of beat me to it, but I plan on doing that too. I really want to do that. I think it looks super sweet. I'm even contemplating doing some of the other, uh, big excavations like mining excavators. So like the bagger, but like some different versions that are just absolutely ridiculous, for being honest. As they say on the unsubscribed podcast, it's my tism. Hey, now, I respect it. We all have a touch of the tism, that's for sure. Some sort of gun slapped on. Yeah, you're right. This I could see this right here. We'll have a T-55 turret on the back here instead of this right here. Obviously this right here, probably a Dishka mounted somewhere up on top. This here, I honestly not sure what they would do here. Probably just maybe have, again, probably some gun mounted right here. Let's see. The bulldozer, obviously just be an armored bulldozer. We've already seen them put a ZU-23-2 anti-aircraft gun in the bucket of a front loader. Dump truck in the back. So, yeah, no, definitely. You gotta give Syria props though. They're got some ingenuity when it comes to their stuff. So, I can respect that. But other than that, they're definitely a hot mess. And I just messed this up here. Got that connected. Let's do the same thing over here for the door handles. And just like that. So that's looking pretty good there. Turn a dump truck into a S400. Yeah. No, those strap some Hind rocket pods on the back and lift the bed up of it. Kind of like what the North Koreans did with their quote unquote new MOS launchers that they have been using. That stuff's pretty funny. I had to build those as soon as I learned about them. I was like, yep, we're building these. And I went ahead and did so. And they're on my Planet Minecraft. But this is pretty wild. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how are you you claim to be a world superpower and you have tractors, literal farm tractors pulling, missile carts around? Like, that's just absurd. It just makes no sense. All right, the moment of truth here. We get to paste this bad boy in. See if this was a good choice. Yeah, and that works pretty good. That'll work pretty good. That's pretty cool. I dig it. I like it. We've seen an 18th century breech-loaded cannon on the back of a truck. Yeah, I do want to build that also. That is something on my list that I am dying to build. Is one of those. You just gotta love it. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet right there. I am pretty satisfied with that. So now we got a little semi truck here. I don't typically build semi trucks, so I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. And then you got this whole trailer here, and it might be kind of good to do like a transit mode version, so it's maybe like folded up or connected in right there. So I think I'm gonna try to do that real quick here, so we can have basically both. So we got the kind of thing by itself, so just the little knuckle loader, and then we have the version here on the trailer, and we'll have both a transit version and also just a deployed version, or a working version, if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. Eventually, I think it'd be cool to like create like some little environments or like scenes that I can put these in, so kind of make them look like they're logging and stuff like that. I feel like with the way it's currently set up, or this vehicle, you're like, well, I don't know what the hell that does. You know, like if I looked at this myself and was like, what is this? I would be like, I don't know. I have no idea. So it definitely might be helpful to do like some little scenes or something when I at least post it and stuff of it, you know, picking up logs or something. But we'll see. That's something I'm gonna have to create and all that stuff. So create a whole little world and dioramas and stuff. So I'll take this up like that. Purple. What are you talking about purple for? So there we go. We got that. So it's like the transit mode, and then I gotta change the arm of this so that it kind of connects up in here. So I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but it looks like the arm just kind of goes straight across almost in the transit modes. So kind of have to see, kind of have to probably mess with this a little bit. So it's probably gonna be a little funky here, but we'll see what we can do. Oops, there goes that. So we have this straight across. Maybe have a little bit of curve in it. Definitely wouldn't hurt. So a little bit of an uppity right there, and then probably put the anvil in. Yeah, I was thinking he might be thinking about that, or like determine the color of the vehicle, but he might be a little ways behind there. The Chisel and Bits mod. Well, I really appreciate the kind words, Captain Jack. Chisel and Bits mod is pretty sweet. It's just a bit too much for me. I still like that Minecraft aesthetic, you know. But I do respect those that build it in it, because you can do some pretty crazy stuff with Chisel and Bits. Some pretty crazy stuff indeed. I know quite a few people that do use it too, and they love it, so. It's definitely a good tool to use. Oof, we're kind of far out there. I'm going to go and extend this just a little bit to try to get us to actually connect up to this point. I'm not too sure how this thing is going to sit in here, so really I'm probably just going to put like this right here or something, and then it goes in there. So just have to use our imagination that the actual like scooper thing and their clamps right there are located there. And let me go ahead and grab a barrier block. I think a barrier block's gonna be better in this situation. Have I heard of the TIV, the Tornado Intercept vehicle? Is it like those like tornado hunters or the storm hunters, like one of their vehicles they use? Because I know one guy I like to watch here and there. He has a vehicle he calls the Dominator, and it's like an armored armored truck basically. Is really the only way to put it. I think it's actually like an F-350 that's just covered in armor panels. It doesn't even look like a truck if you look at it. It's just completely covered in armor panels and all kinds of crazy stuff. But there are definitely some crazy like tornado intercept vehicles and all that stuff out there. But you kind of have to have them because there's plenty of people that die chasing tornadoes and all that kind of stuff, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's why I'm happy. Like, I could not live somewhere that has to deal with tornadoes. Like I think living here, we've had one tornado warning, and it like scared the scared the hell out of me. I was like, oh man. I was like working too, and I was my job. I'm like traveling on the road a lot, so I'm traveling on the road, and like I'm like messaging my boss. I'm like, there's a tornado warning. Like, what the hell do I do? And I was like directly in the path of it. And I went. I looked at the radar. The end of that day, and there was a little spin up. It didn't touch the ground ever, but it was. You could clearly see there was some rotation. I could definitely try those. That would be pretty interesting to build. Probably going to be a little tough to do just with the angles and stuff, but I definitely think I could probably manage something like that. But I think that looks pretty good. So we got like a little transit mode version going on. We got like the deployed one here, and you can rotate this around and have it doing stuff, picking up stuff. So that's pretty cool. So got some good builds out of this, but I think that right there is probably where I'm going to end the stream here. We built the little skid loader here in the beginning, this little knuckle loader as well, and the tractor trailer with it as well. So some pretty good stuff all the way around. I'm definitely going to be trying to stream a little more often. There shouldn't be a 2-year gap until the next stream, so that should be pretty good at least. So but yeah, some really good stuff overall, and everything. I want to thank everybody for hanging around the stream, for all of you that have been around since almost the beginning, keeping me entertained and giving me ideas and stuff like that. But yeah, some really cool stuff we built, and we'll probably do another stream sometime soon and build some more stuff. I probably won't be construction because I don't want to bore you guys with more construction unless you guys want it, but we can try some military stuff or something like that. But whatever I'm in the mood to build for. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you all so much for coming out to the stream. Hope you guys have a good one. And with that, I will see you guys all in the next one, and should have a tutorial or a video coming out here in the next few days. So look forward to that. Anyways, see you guys all later, and have a good night.